Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coaching Call podcast with Amy Griffith. I am your host, Amy Griffith, and this is a little surprise episode for you guys. And I'm really, really, really excited for this one. We are going to be going into everything goal setting, reflecting on the year we just had, setting intentions, and I'm going to walk you through how I made my vision board for 2025 and just walk you guys through essentially my process with this that has been working well for me on terms of I'm actually starting to see results from doing a vision board. And I want to walk you guys through this process because it's so powerful, as I'm sure you know, and we hear all the time, like it's statistically something like 90% or 80%, 90% of greater chances of your visions coming true and you hitting your goals when you write it down, when you make it clear, when you set dates, like it actually brings it to life. And that's exactly what we're going to do today and go off of my system that I have seen yield results for me in my life. And yeah, I'm just really excited for this. It's going to be a very feel good episode. I recommend for this one, not, this isn't really a driving lesson. You totally can, as just listen to the sound of my voice and kind of get it in your brain and do the activities later if you guys are driving or on a walk. But actually sit down, prop this up. I'm on video and actually do these steps and like pause this podcast, do the activity, and then continue going through. And so that you actually have something now tangible that you can start to work towards, which is really exciting. So, happy holidays, you guys. Hope you're all having a merry, joyful time if you celebrate Christmas or whatever it is that you might celebrate. I hope you guys are having a great time. I hope you enjoy my twinkly little tree in the background. It's a real pine tree this year that we got. And I made a post about this on Instagram, but I move so much. Like, and I never know where I'm going to live and for how long. And I always at Christmas time, I'm just like, oh, like, do we even want a tree? I don't know. It's a waste of money. I don't know how long. I don't know. I just make all these excuses. And this year I was like, I'm going to not do that. And I'm just going to get the exact tree that I want. I want a real, fresh, tall. I always get like a mini one. This one's an actual real tree. And I'm going to decorate it how I want and just enjoy it. And I'm so glad that I've done that. And it just feels so much more festive. And now I'm actually like, getting into the spirit and feel excited. So, anyway, that's just something that is going on for me this season. And yeah, I hope you guys are all just having a really great time too. I don't know when this is going to go up, before, after Christmas. We'll see. So let's get right into it. How about it? Let me see on my notes what I have here. Okay, so I recommend for this, I have my notebook here. I do recommend having a fresh notebook. I just got mine from Target. You can just go to like the dollar store, like get a fresh new notebook for the new year. We, as routine, habitual human beings, we like a fresh start, right? We get excited about the Monday. We get excited about the 1st of January. We get excited about that fresh beginning, and a fresh notebook to work with as you go into the new year is just going to be nice. We're going to do some activities in the front of your notebook that's going to help you make your vision board. And it's also going to be great because this is going to be the notebook you use to track your progress, to track your daily activities, to like the game plan is going in this book. And when you have your intentions and your reflections and your goals at the beginning of the book, you can literally start every single day by, first of all, seeing your vision board on your screensaver on your phone. And you'll actually read what's happening in your year and your goals and everything at the start of your book. So it's just, you're immersing yourself in this next version of you. It's surrounding you. You need it in front of your face. And you guys can also like print out and have a physical vision board, which is really, really smart to do. I need to do that as well. But lately, the screensaver has just been easier and the most just effective way for me. But I definitely want like a physical full vision board. You guys can do whatever floats your boat. Just having something there that you see all the time. And it's important to like connect to your goals as well every single day. I feel like a lot of people will, create the vision board and then it's just kind of there and they get a little bit used to it. So you see it, but you don't actually feel it. And I recommend actually studying your vision board, studying your goals. When you see it and read it or see it and like feel it. Feel the feeling of achieving that. How does it feel to achieve that? And get into it. So anyway, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So have a notebook, a fresh notebook, and I recommend having some sort of sticky notes. I have these like neutral, I think they're cute, like different like grid, white, brown, different ones from Amazon, but whatever sticky notes you want, because this will actually help you with your quarterly game plan, which we're going to get into in this as well. So let's just get things started, you guys, on the first thing that I want you guys to do, 2024 reflections. Before we get into 2025, I want you guys to take a moment right now and reflect on your year of 2024. Or if you guys are not listening to this in current time of 2024 going into 2025, this will work for every single new year, whatever year it might be. So your past year you just had, I want you guys to reflect and write things down. I didn't realize how cool this was until I was doing this. I got a notebook off my shelf and I found my 2023 reflections, and it made me feel some type of way. I had a really, for me, a very difficult year in 2023. It was a lot of personal life things. It was a tough year. Shit was hitting the fan. It was a tough year. And I looked at those reflections, like, and I saw, proud moments, what I'm proud of from 2023. And there were some achievements and wins and things. And I wrote down something like I got through the tough season. Like I worked on XYZ and it was tough and there was struggle, but I worked through it. And like, I'm so proud of myself for that. So maybe you guys have had a year where it didn't really go the way that you wanted. Maybe you're seeing everyone's, vision boards on social media and what came true in 2024 and how fantastic life is, everything's happening for me. And the reality is, for a lot of us, there are things that did not happen, right? You may have made a vision board and the year did not go the way that you planned. Maybe this was a really tough year. Maybe this was the worst year you have had yet so far. And regardless of what it may look like for you guys, I want you to reflect on this year, even if it's tough, and find the good. You're here on the other side. It's the end of the year now. What lessons did you learn? What did you move through and get through? How are you growing? And the fact, you guys, that like if this is all new to you and the fact that you're sitting here listening to this and willing to do these exercises and bring this up, this is going to grow you so much. I didn't realize it in 2023 when I was reflecting on the year, and like it was tough. I was like, did not hit the, business goals or my health goals even that I had in mind, but I actually worked on this. I actually, built up my relationship stronger than ever. I actually did a move that I wasn't sure was going to be the direction for me, and I did it and I made it happen and I came out on the other side. Whatever, right? Whatever your thing might be for you that you got through this year, I want you guys to acknowledge it. Okay. And for a lot of you guys, you just had a really amazing year of 2024. Acknowledge everything, every achievement, every win, every vision board thing that came true, small or big, like everything. And something that helped me do this, because my memory is, I can't just reflect on 2024 and be like, oh yeah, da 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 da, like all these things happen. Go to your camera roll on your phone, scroll up, it will show you the year and the month, and start to look through your camera roll and you'll see these moments, and it will bring everything up for you. So that's step one. Open your little booklets and you're going to write down proud moments of 2024. I wrote down a whole bunch of things. I can read some out to you guys just since we're on here. 5 years in my company that I'm partnered with. So even though, that's not like a milestone necessarily, it's longevity. I'm proud of myself for that. I've been here. I'm here and growing and going, and that's a proud thing for me. A full year living in Chicago, I think is kind of cool. Engaged. So that's obviously a big life thing. And some of you guys might have those big life things too. I wrote down the date. And you want to look back on these things, right? This is something like looking back on my 2023, I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this every year because my heart, like, I'm so proud of that 2023 Amy, like that's crazy. That year that I had, it was crazy. And it just brings out the good. Like even when it's a crappy time and not a fun time, I can see the good. I can see the lessons learned. Oh, they're playing. And it just makes me feel proud. And I'm like, okay, it was worth it. Like there was so much growth that I didn't see when you're in it. You don't see the lessons learned when you're in the trenches, but when you come out on the other side and you can pull lessons from it and feel proud of it, you grow. You grow as a person. And you guys, that is what we're here for, to learn and get life experience and to grow. Okay. So what else did I have? I had a real 2024 for me was pretty freaking crazy. Engaged, closed Vancouver condo. My best friend got to move into it. I earned a top level of an incentive trip. I went to Portugal and Italy. I spoke on stage for the first time, like the biggest stage. A whole bunch of things. Hosted a team Christmas party, which for me was really exciting. Got rid of some bad habits. Wrote down a whole bunch of different things and things that I can feel proud of. And I know I'm going to look back on this one day and be like, that's crazy. Like it's just so crazy. So bring up those things, you guys, whatever year, if you had like myself, a 2023 Amy year where it was hectic and you like survived, or if you had a pretty great year like my 2024, and just write down all those things that you see in your camera roll. Feel proud. Let the feelings fill you up. If you guys don't feel proud, it's like a form of self-love. Like just it gives you the sense of peace within yourself that you're on the right track and you're moving and you're growing and you can acknowledge it regardless of what has or hasn't happened. You can acknowledge it and be like, okay, we're growing, we're glowing, on to the next, let's go, let's build. It's going to make you feel good and be so fun to reflect on these moments. So that's what you guys are going to write down. Put the date on this as well as you guys do it, because you'll look back on these things and you'll be glad that you have kept them. Okay. It's part of your success story. All right. So 2024 reflections is the first one. Maybe pause this now, do that. And let's go on to number 2. Okay. Next part of this is, what are you leaving behind and what are you bringing in to your new year? Okay, so this can be on another separate page. What's staying in 2024? What's coming with in 2025? Start with what's staying in 2024. This, you guys can reflect on the year. This should stick out to you. It should be the first things that come to your mind. And a lot of the time, our goals and our lifestyles revolve around health and wellness, relationships, career, finances, business, whatever, right? That's kind of the main things. And of course, extra things like passion projects, travel experiences, personal growth, whatever. You guys will be able to see it. But for a lot of you, things that need to stay in 2024, like you can just start to write these down, pause this if your mind is going and just let it go. There's things that I'll give you guys some examples from myself as well to kind of get the wheels turning too, but it's kind of obvious, right? Like health things, there's going to be habits that you guys have been partaking with in 2024 that you know have not been supporting you, have not been helping you thrive in your life, right? And in your health and wellness journey. Some things I wrote down, being late to things. That's something that I wrote down that's staying in 2024. I oftentimes am late to things, whether it's Zoom calls, whether it's a workout class and I'm rolling in just on the dot. Like, I don't like that feeling of being rushed. So that's a simple thing that I can acknowledge and be aware of and know that I'll probably feel so much more at peace, less stressed out, less flustered if I'm early to things. A good like 5 to 3 minutes early is going to make a huge difference. And it doesn't really take that much more effort. It's just being aware of it to do that. Unaligned people, negative people, toxic people is going to be a big one for so many of us that we can get involved in, and it doesn't support and help you, whether it's the unhealthy group of friends that goes out every single weekend and it's just not aligning with you anymore and you're like, we're not going to do that anymore. Maybe it's past relationships that you're like, this need like a cord needs to be cut and the tie needs to be no more. Like whatever you guys feel come up for you where you're like, I know I need to fully remove that and to be able to move on with my life and step into this best version of myself. You guys know what it is, right? Limiting beliefs, certain limiting beliefs that you guys have around yourself, around your success, around your wellness, settling. A lot of us settle for certain things. And that's one of my things that's staying in 2024 is I'm just not settling. Like, I'm not going to settle for things when I know that there's something greater, right? I'm not going to settle for something out of fear when I know that there's potential for something more and greater, whatever it might be. Overthinking could be something. The takeout junk food. This was actually something, if you guys have been around me for a hot minute on social media or even the podcast, I used to have this like addiction to DoorDash and getting takeout. And it used to be like literally, I was so frustrated with myself because it was such a problem. And I would just get DoorDash all the time. I'm like, it's convenient, it's easier. I don't like to take the time to cook. I don't like, it was something I really struggled with, making myself my own food. And this was something I think like 2 years ago that I was really struggling with. And not that it's the worst thing in the world, but like it's expensive to be getting DoorDash all the time or Uber Eats or whatever. It's not healthy. Like it doesn't take that much more effort to make sure I have groceries and I can whip something up or meal prep. Like there's ways around that, obviously. Right. And anyway, so I look back and reflect at how much better I've gotten at not getting DoorDash or Uber Eats. It rarely ever happens. It honestly never happens. I'm always eating home cooked food now. And if we're getting takeout or something like that, that we aren't actually cooking, we're going out to a restaurant and having a date day. It's like intentional, not that last minute, I'm starving, I need to get like a burger and fries. I need to get pad thai. I need to get whatever and like get it delivered. I used to do it all the time. And now I can reflect back and I'm like, wow, we've grown because we don't do that anymore, but I probably still would have if I didn't make that intentional decision. And it's good to reflect, you guys, because it shows you your growth. Things don't just happen overnight, right? These things that we want to change or enhance and, step into this better version of ourselves that actually serves our wellness and our health and our goals that we have. It's a practice, right? And I'm now just seeing it over the last like 2 to 3 years of doing this sort of goal setting and reflection. Like I didn't see it right away. I didn't see those things happening. I was kind of like, I don't know if this is actually going to change. But now looking back 2, 3 years later, even a year later, I'm like, things are changing. And it just gets me so excited at how powerful this is. So anyway, what's stayed in 2024? You guys can write all those things down. You heard some of my examples. What's coming with in 2025 can go right underneath it or on another page if you guys are writing like crazy. So habits that you have been doing this past year that have been serving you, that are helpful, that are moving you in the right direction. And I'm seeing this so much. Like though I didn't hit every single goal that I had in 2024, I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing growth in my business, in my healthy habits. Like there's change and there's growth, and it has me excited. And I'm not just going to go change everything. I'm not going to do it's like doing a full rebrand when the brand is working. It's like, why change? There's a saying for that. I can't remember, but if it's not broken, don't fix it, that sort of thing. Like there are things for you guys that are working right now. Why stir it up and completely switch it up? If things aren't working, then yes, switch it up. But a lot of the time, it's just consistently doing the things we know we need to do that need to continue to happen, right? So for me, like coming within 2025, the healthy home cooked meals, I'm on that train. I'm going to keep staying on that train and intentionally bring that into the new year. One of my things that I've been loving, though I don't do it most days, I actually don't do it, but when I do, it's so good, is getting my tasks done before noon. So like my business tasks, kind of those mundane things that I know I need to do to move myself forward that I'd like to push off till the end of the day. Doing those before noon has completely expanded my day and freed up more of my time. And I just get so much more done when I kind of cut my day into halves. So much more time, like putting that kind of time pressure onto myself. It makes my days go so much better. So, yeah, getting those things done before noon every day. Whole bunch of different things in here that I am going to be taking into 2025. And you guys can write your stuff down now too, everything that you want to take in, pause this if you need to. And then what do you wait? Oh, 2025. Typo. Okay, so what are you leaving behind? What are you taking into the new year? Now, we did that. We've reflected. Okay, we feel proud of ourselves from the year we've had. We know what's staying behind that didn't serve us, and we know what we're bringing into the new year. Now, you're going to write down what is happening in 2025. These are going to be your goals, like 5 to 12-ish goals that you guys want to write down. And this is going to be a statement page. So this should be its own page entirely, titled What's Happening in 2025. And you're going to write down, number them, all the goals that you're going to be hitting for this year. And I want you guys to be realistic, but also ambitious, right? Use your imagination, stretch yourself. There's definitely goals on here where I'm like, I know I absolutely will hit that. Like, I know it's going to take work. I have like a savings goal for a down payment for my next place that I have on here that like, I kind of have no choice but to hit that, like I already paid part of the down payment and this is the rest of it. I have no choice. Like I have to save that amount and it is what it is. And like, it's going to be something I need to figure out and I have to do. So I know it's happening. Certain events and parties that I want to throw, brand trips I want to earn, promotions I want to hit, where I want to move to, like this next location of where I'm going, where my home base is going to be, podcasts, listens. I have a goal that's very ambitious that if I want to hit that podcast listen goal, I do need to do something very different because I'm not close to it. You know what I mean? So there's going to be goals on there where you guys are like, yeah, that's absolutely happening. I know it for a fact. There's going to be some where you're like, things kind of need to change. I need to get in a new rhythm. You guys will be able to see what that is for you. So take this time now and write out everything that is happening. This is your statement page, and this is what you're going to build your vision board around. Okay. So take a pause, write down your things, and we'll get into the game planning. Now that you have what's happening in 2025, this is where we need to chat a little bit about the part that people avoid. So people will write down their goals. This is, the goal that I have. They'll even pick a timeline and a date as to when it's going to happen by. And a lot of you guys are going to be like, hey, in 2025, these things on this page in my book are going to happen. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you leave it all year, if you give yourself 12 months to achieve that goal, 99.9% of the time you won't hit it. Right? It's the same. I use this example all the time, I feel like, but it's so real. If you give yourself all day to clean your room, it's going to take you all day to clean your room. If you give yourself 30 minutes to clean your room, it's going to take you 30 minutes to clean your room. You guys need to actually set a time frame on this that allows you to get things done this year. That, like, we don't want to hit these goals by December 2025, right? You want to hit them in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, and that's what we're going to focus on now, and setting up a game plan. Right? Goals without a plan are just dreams. A lot of you been out here dreaming. A lot of you are out here thinking you have these goals set, and you actually have these very ambitious dreams, which are fun to look at and think about. No action behind them, no switching your routines, nothing. You're just having a thought and think that'd be nice, right? And we actually want to set you guys up to be hitting these goals, like actually have a plan in place. So what did I write down here? Take each goal that you've written down and add them to a quarter of 2025. So this is where I do it on sticky notes. You can do it right in your book if you want to. I do sticky notes because I put them on my wall and I see them. 4 sticky notes, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, right? Quarter 1, January, February, March. Quarter 2, April, May, June, so on and so on. You can see 3-month increments each quarter for your business. And each goal that you've written down in here, you are going to assign it to a quarter of when it is going to be done. Okay? So get that up and ready. And you guys will know, like, there's going to be a goal in your 2025 goals that you've just written down. You want to think of what is that goal that if you hit that and make that priority in Q1 and that's your focus, everything else will kind of fall into place, right? And it's usually like a financial one. It's usually starting the business, so I have more income for that new apartment that I want to get, or for this trip that I want to go on. You have a trip that's a goal, but you need that income, and it can come from your promotion that you're working towards, a business that you're starting, a new job, like whatever it is for you. It's usually a financial thing because, hello, let's be honest, that is where things flourish from. But for so many of you guys, you might be going into a really big health focused year. And for a lot of you, perhaps your health needs to be your priority these next 3 months before business and all these other things can be. Like, as we know, our health is our most important. If we don't have our health, we have nothing else. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter how much money's in your bank account if you can't live, right? So focusing on, maybe for some of you it's your health, maybe you need to focus on your relationship and do some work and do some building work there first before going into other things. So you guys know what it is for you, right? Like for me, my health and wellness, I've been on that. That was a huge priority a few years ago. And now I'm in flow. Now I'm in routine. It's a natural habit. I've hit that goal of making that a consistent, more days out of the week than not. I am moving my body. I'm working out. I'm eating healthy whole foods. Like I feel good there. That doesn't need to be my focus in quarter 1. It's just something that happens now. It's just a part of my day. So for me, it's a business one. It's a new promotion that I've set to hit. And I can see that on my sticky notes for Q1, that's my focus for the quarter, right? And I can see if doing that at the start of the year makes the rest of the year flow. It allows me to do all those other things that are coming up, say in the summer, that are coming up for next fall and next winter. It allows me to do those things by front loading the start of my year with those key priorities for myself and my goals. Okay. So you guys will be able to see, it should stick out to you like a sore thumb, what goal is priority right now that will allow all the others to kind of rise and get connected with it. Okay. So that is going to be your focus. That'll obviously be Q1, that priority goal that you need to focus on, what goal you want to hit by January, February, or March. And you can just write that down on your sticky note. And then Q2, like I have events that are happening that I'm not choosing the date. There's a conference in Las Vegas in June. I'm obviously going to that conference, so I know that I'm going there. And if I want to be walking the stage in June, what I want to see happening in June, that is written down. Like I know that's when I'm going and where I want to be at business wise. Same with Q3. That for me, I know is going to be around the time ideally that I'm moving, but at the same time, it's not fully my decision when I'm moving, right? There's other things that play. There's other people at play with my fiance and his work and our property, and like there's other moving parts. So I'm not really sure when that's going to happen. Ideally, summertime would be great, and I've just written it down there because it kind of allows some room too for those things that maybe aren't fully in your control and other people are a part of it, but you could still place that out and kind of bring it to life and see when it's going to happen for you. And when I want to hit my savings goal, like everything's kind of written down there. Podcast listens, like a whole bunch of other things. I have it every quarter. So it's not just by December next year, we're hitting this list of things. We've spread out our goals so each actually gets some quality time. What a lot of people do is you have all these things you want to do, and then you try to do them all at once, right? Where you have a full day and you're like, let's hit every single thing on the to-do list and grow everything at once. And what actually happens with this strategy is everything gets a little bit of effort. Everything gets 10% here, 20% there, 5% here, 2% there, whatever. Everything you want to do isn't getting your full attention or focus, and therefore doesn't actually grow. No momentum happens in any of those places. Where if you focus on one thing at a time, let's get this done, let's master this, let's be an expert here and go all out, it's actually gonna get momentum to get off the ground and happen for you. And then now you have routine, now you're in that zone, kind of like me with my health and wellness. I went and focused in on it. It became a natural habit. It became a routine. Now I don't even have to think about it. It's second nature. It's just how I am now. And that's where I want to get my business up to be. That's where I want to get, all these other things up to be. But you got to give it the time and the dedication and commitment in order to see that happening, if that makes sense. Okay, so I feel like we've been on here for a really long time. How long has this been? Oh no, we're good. Okay, so yeah, focus on one goal at a time, master that area of your life. I also personally, I use a calendar app where I schedule my work sessions. It's called In Charge. My friends Maddie and Emma made that app. Actually, I'm obsessed with it. It has a journaling section, gratitudes, affirmations, like to-do list, events of the day. That's what I personally use. That's where I schedule my stuff. So I actually schedule my day, my reminders, my calls in that calendar app. But like I said, your notebook that you guys have now, I'll take my calendar that's on my phone and I will put the to-dos here because I like to check them off pen to paper as well and just see what's growing. I'll write down my wins. I'll write down ideas that pop up in the middle of the day. And I'm like, oh, we need to get this done. Actually, quickly write it down. And this allows me to look back. Once I hit my goal, I'll look back on these notebooks and see exactly what I did to get there. And then I can hand it to other people and be like, this is what I did. Like it's all written in here, starting with the goals, and this is all the actions. So it's just a really great tool to have so you guys can reflect and not have this mystery guessing game of why you are or aren't hitting your goals. It's in the system. You can see it and you've tracked it every day. What you track grows, right? So having that system in place that you guys are going off of is going to be so crucial and helpful for you guys growing. And now for your vision board. So everything you've wrote down with your, 2025, what's happening this year, find it on Pinterest, find photos to symbolize exactly what that is. And you can put a little collage together right on Pinterest. I take my 6 priority photos, priority goals, and I actually just use Instagram stories. There's a layout feature and you can put 6 photos all together. I save that to my camera roll and I put that as my screensaver on my phone, as you guys can see. So that's how I do it. Rather than a whole bunch of things, I can see clearly 6 key core things that if those are the only 6 things to happen in 2025, I am complete. I am so happy. I know I'm achieving everything I've set out to this year. That's my goal, right? So that's what I recommend doing just to keep it easy for yourself. And on Pinterest, another little hack with this that I really like to do, I like to have a board of my 2025 vision board that I can add things to. And you'll see extra things that you're like, oh, that'd be cool to have this here too. And let's put this in and just kind of like fill it up. You're going to see big things. You're going to see really big things that maybe you're like, okay, we're not quite there yet for 2025, but maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, we can achieve this. Or things like having a family, you're like, I love that in the future, not right now. Have a life vision board. This is really fun to have. So you have your annual vision board that you have, and then a life one that you can just keep adding big things to. Keep adding those moments, keep adding those ideas so you can come back to and pick it out. Because it's on Pinterest, you could just go crazy and add like everything. Everything's so stunning. Everything gets you so excited. Put it in your life vision board that you can come back to later, you guys, and you will start to work through that when you have that as an intention. But your 2025 one is the focus. Those are stepping stones to the things on your life vision board. And you got to clarify it. You got to break it down and make it just digestible for you to see every day and know this is what we're working towards and this is what's happening. Screensaver it. You can put it as a physical, print it out. You can put it on your laptop, background, desktop, whatever, and you can see it and it will come to life for you guys. So I hope this was valuable. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you guys share this with your teams. If you're also in a business, network marketing, entrepreneurship with a team where you know that they would gain value from having a vision board, from setting these goals and your timelines with your quarters and actually get walked through how to do that. Share it, you guys, so we can all be prepped and ready to go and have the best year ever. I'm so excited for what's to come. I love the new year energy. It's so fun. It's like magical. So much is happening. So yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. This is officially the final episode of 2024. And I'm just so grateful for all of you who have been with me so far. Make sure to screenshot this as well. Tag me at It's Amy Griffith or at Coaching Call Podcast on Instagram so I can send you guys love and thank you for listening. I appreciate it more than you know, and do make sure to rate it 5 stars as well if you have not yet already done that. It helps me continue to pump these out for you guys as we go into the new year, as I am so excited to do and see where we all grow as the Coaching Call community. So love you guys so much. Have an amazing rest of your holidays. See you next time.